Hey there. Before we dive in, if you've ever felt like something's off, like you're living on someone else's clock, chasing something you can't name, then this channel is for you. Hit that subscribe button. Join a tribe of thinkers, seekers, and rebels unafraid to ask the real questions. Now let's talk about the one thing you can't escape, the thing that rules your life more than any law, boss, or government: time. But not time as in seconds or hours. I mean clock time, linear time, productivity time, the cult of the schedule. I mean the psychological prison you didn't know you were living in. From the moment we're born, we're taught to obey time. Wake up by this hour, go to school by this age, graduate by this year, get a job by 25, get married by 30, have kids before 35, retire by 65, die eventually. We don't question it. We just run the script. And if we're ever off schedule, we panic. We feel behind, like we failed. But ask yourself, behind who? According to what clock? This obsession with being on time is a modern invention. The ancient Greeks had two words for time: chronos, the ticking of the clock, and kairos, the opportune moment, the deep now, the sacred present. We've forgotten kairos. We live only by chronos, mechanical, ruthless, unforgiving. We wear watches like shackles. We chase deadlines like prey. We call it managing time, but really, we're being managed by it. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you felt truly present? Not checking your phone, not stressing over your next task, just here. Now, if you can't remember, that's not your fault. It's by design. You see, the modern world doesn't want you living in the moment. It wants you scheduled, tracked, optimized, and profitable. The system runs better when you're always rushing, always anxious, always trying to catch up. Because a mind that's always in the future can be controlled. And it's subtle. You're praised for being productive, even if you're burning out. You're admired for being busy, even if you're empty inside. You wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. But here's the truth. No one tells you. Busy doesn't mean important. Rushing doesn't mean progress. And being constantly productive is often just a distraction from meaning. Think about it. You're not living your life. You're performing it on a schedule. You're not present. You're rehearsing what you'll do next. You're not human. You're a calendar in motion. Philosopher Martin Heidegger warned us, most people live in a state of forgetfulness of being. We're so consumed by our roles, tasks, and clocks that we forget to actually be. We confuse doing with living. Jean-Paul Sartre took it further. He said, "Freedom is what you do with what's been done to you." And yet, most of us surrender our freedom every time we say, "I don't have time." No, you do have time. You just gave it away. To meetings, to people who don't matter, to tasks that don't fulfill you, to futures that may never arrive. We've become slaves to time, but worse, we've become willing slaves because we think this is how it has to be. We think the race is real, but here's the brutal truth. There is no finish line. And even if there were, do you really want to be the first to cross it if it costs you your soul? Look around. The people who have it all are often the most imprisoned. Every hour accounted for, every second monetized, every breath scheduled. Is that freedom? Or is it a polished prison cell? You weren't born to be a cog in someone else's stopwatch. You weren't born to measure your worth by how full your calendar is. You were born to feel, to explore, to create, to connect, to be. But here's the paradox. Even when you try to slow down, to step off the treadmill, The guilt follows you like a shadow. You sit in silence and suddenly you feel anxious. You take a break and you feel worthless. Why? Because we've been conditioned to believe that stillness is a threat. That if you're not producing, you're wasting. That if you're not hurrying, you're falling behind. But behind what? There is no universal timeline. There is no cosmic scoreboard. The pressure to always do more is not some divine law. It's a social script written by people who profit from your obedience. And until you tear up that script, you'll keep running in circles, mistaking motion for meaning. And here's the part no one tells you. Time is not your enemy. It's your canvas, and you decide what to paint on it. But you have to break the trance. Stop measuring your life by deadlines and expectations. Stop believing that rest is laziness. Stop living only for the next moment and return to this one. Because in this moment, you're free. And here's where it gets dark. You're not just trapped in time. You're addicted to it. You check the clock even when there's no reason. You panic if you waste a day. You feel guilty for resting. That's not normal. That's programming. The system has wired your brain to equate stillness with failure. Because if you ever stopped, if you ever really paused, you might start asking dangerous questions like, why am I doing any of this? Who am I doing it for? What if the entire race is meaningless? And that kind of awakening, it terrifies the system, because a person who reclaims their time reclaims their life. Imagine it, waking up and choosing how to spend your day, not because of a schedule, but because of your soul, working when inspired, resting without shame, measuring success by depth, not speed. That's not lazy, that's revolutionary. Because in a world addicted to acceleration, slowness is a rebellion, presence is power, silence is strength, and freedom, real freedom, it begins when you stop asking, what time is it? And start asking, how do I want to live?